What is going on, everybody? It's Tuesday night, so you know what time it is. It's nothing personal, it's just Bills. I'm hosted by your host, myself right here, JTM. See, we got in the locker room today. Got my man, former NFL running back James Mallory, Buffalo native, Buffalo legend. We gonna start saying Buffalo legend.
Well, hey, you saying it, not me. So
It's
I'm
okay
not
if
gonna say
somebody
that.
else is saying it. But yeah, man, we got a little bit to talk about tonight. The Bills put an absolute hurting beat down on the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football. And I mean, it wasn't even close. They dominated this game from front to end. Not what many expected in the NFL world. It didn't really surprise me. I'm not gonna be honest with you. It didn't really surprise me. The Chiefs have not been playing the best ball. And I know we talked about it. The fact that they beat them down the way they did that surprise you?
It didn't really surprise me. I know it was a lot of hype around the Chiefs this season, but when you really look at it, I mean, it was something that was more than possible. People kind of fall in love with the excuse me, the whole Pat Mahomes thing. Well, Pat Mahomes don't go down there and sack the quarterback. Pat Mahomes are backpedaling and defending wide receivers. They have a problem on defense there, and they have for a couple of years, and they caught up with them in the Super Bowl, and obviously it's transferring over into this season. So I'm not too surprised. Did I think it was going to happen that bad? No, but I'm really not surprised.
I mean, as the Revenge Tour 2021 continues, and Buffalo had a lot of pride on this game. They came into this game seeming like the team that had more on the line as far as pride goes. You took 2 L's to the Chiefs last year. Obviously, one was in the middle of the season and a horrible game, horrible weather game, and the next one was the AFC Championship game where you had a 9-point lead and they came back and smoked you in the second half pretty much. It's not surprising to me for that reason because it seemed like Buffalo came into this game with more to play for. I felt like the Chiefs came in relaxed. They weren't humble at all. They weren't even humble in the AFC Championship game. They treated us like little brother. They really did. I mean,
Yeah,
they treated us like little brother. Pat Mahomes treated Josh Allen, and I think in a way that Josh was on his level.
Mm-hmm.
The Kansas City fan base treated him that way as well. The national analysts, a lot of them, not all of them, because a lot of on Josh Allen's side treated him like he wasn't on this level, on Mahomes' level. And I think Andy Reid still looks at Sean McDermott as a protege.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree there.
Yeah. I think that they came as a team that weren't ready, and they came out and they got, as I like to say all the time, they got punched in the mouth. And they kept getting punched in the mouth. And the Bills didn't lay off, even when they had the lead in the fourth quarter, up by 18. They're still knocking the holy hell out of them.
Yeah, they just physically just beat them up. I mean, when you really look at the game, man, the Bills came in, they were hungrier. They didn't really want to. It was, they can say all they want that, oh no, it's just another game. Yes, that is true, but they did want to make a statement like, hey, we here, because for your psyche, if you lose that game as a player, it's like, damn, we still didn't get over that hump, that hurdle of the Chiefs. But this game put a lot of confidence in them, so, and I don't care what nobody say, for your mental, just for your psyche, man, that this game was huge for the players of the Buffalo Bills, especially all the players that was on the roster last year that did lose twice to them. And we lost twice to them 2 different ways. During the regular season, they ran the ball for a bajillion yards, and then they passed the ball on us in the AFC Championship game. So, for us to come out and kind of kick they behind the way we did, get turnovers, force Pat Mahomes into turnovers, and kind of make him look uncomfortable, I think that is a great sign for this team, and I think they're only going to get better, especially when you look at the young defensive linemen. They're going to improve as the season goes on.
And later in the show, we got a pretty good lineup of topics tonight. Tonight we're going to break down this game just a little bit, not too much, because the guys did it last night over here. If you guys didn't tune in, make sure you catch the repeat of Clayton Garrett, Ernest Daniels, and Travis Blakesley for the CFR postgame show. But we're also going to talk about Greg Rousseau and how the experts have completely gotten him wrong. Completely wrong on Greg Rousseau. I mean, he's making an immediate impact. We saw the impact on Sunday night, constantly causing pressure on Mahomes. He never looked comfortable, and Groot was a big part of that. Also getting a key interception where the Chiefs are rallying, trying to make a comeback. They try to run RPO on the side. He sniffs it out, bats the ball up there, then he shows his receiver skills.
Yep.
So, and actually David Stymus in the chat says, "Happy late birthday, James."
Thank you.
Let's remind you, remember your birthday, man.
Yeah, it was Sunday. It was Sunday, man. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. You know what? Donnie Trotman is in the chat. And if you don't remember Donnie Trotman works with Fanatics. And he's a good friend of mine. And you know what? He did come on the draft show. And he definitely said that the Bills should draft Rousseau. He definitely said that on Cofer Report draft show, 110%. Actually, I go back years ago. The first draft show that I ever did, live draft shows, was back when I was with Fanatics days. This is a while back now. The Bills drafted Josh Allen. I remember Donnie Trotman being on that show with me. And when he drafted Allen, I'm not afraid to admit, I was so angry. I was a Josh Rosen guy. I was completely off base.
Me too. I got to admit it. I was too.
Completely off base. And I remember saying, "Damn it," slamming my head down. And Donnie on the show said, "Hey, relax. Don't worry. This quarterback, Josh, has the highest ceiling of any quarterback in this draft. You guys, trust me, the Bills has got the best quarterback in the draft." And you know what, Donnie, 4 years later, you're writing the money again. So, yeah.
Bingo.
Whoever Donnie says to draft, we better draft.
Yep, exactly.
He's been on the money. So hats off to Don, man, and his draft knowledge. He's up there. He's up there with the best of them, in my opinion, especially in this circle that what we do. But no, I thought the Bills did a hell of a job. I mean, the physicality, it was something unheard of or unmatched that we haven't seen in Buffalo in years. And I've been saying it all year about not just where the defense is playing, but the physicality. It's not like it was in 2018 where they were just a solid defense with kind of bend don't break. They're trying to break your neck out there. They're hitting you. Like, you're not going down without getting hit 2 or 3 times. You're getting hit hard. You saw Travis Kelce at the end of that game. Jordan Porter whopped him.
Yeah.
Whopped him pretty good, too.
Yeah. I love the attitude that these guys got. For a long time here in Buffalo, we had a bunch of just nice guys. And it's just, they were nice guys. I'm talking about on the field, not off the field. We want everybody to be, good people, obviously. But we had nice guys on the field. These guys want to get after it. They can be nice after, the fourth quarter is over, the game is over. They can be nice guys. But these dudes get after. I mean, Tremaine Edmonds, I love the way he's flying around once again. I said it a long time ago. They need to extend him now because it's just going to get more and more expensive. Ed Oliver plays with attitude. Star Latulele. That dude can play. I told everybody, JT. I told everybody before he opted out, we would miss him. And I told everybody in that 2019 season, he's better than what people are giving him credit for. That dude can play, man. I just love the way, Trey White, obviously Poyer and Micah Hyde, those dudes bring a lot to the table, attitude-wise, leadership-wise, and they're just clicking right now. I'm just praying it continues that way and everybody can stay healthy, man. I just love, they want to get after people and set the tone each and every week. Each and every week, they come out there with a mission, and the mission is to bring pain.
They bring pain, yeah.
You feel it, and bring that pain.
Right. Like I said, it's something that we haven't seen from the Bills. Like I said, I haven't seen this type of physicality from the Bills defense probably since Takeo Spikes, Leonard Fletcher, and Lawyer Malloy was playing. That was a very physical defense too. They brought the pain, but since then, like you said, it was a bunch of nice guys. And I always go back to the same point of how nice this defense was. Is when Gronkowski hit the Macho Man Randy Savage flying elbow on the back of Davis's white head, and
How he
Preston
didn't
Brown.
get smashed out, I still would never know.
Right, you know what I mean. We can look back at that, and Preston Brown just standing there looking like, "Hey, what are you doing? Throw the flag. It's the end of the game, man. You're losing already. The game's over. Throw some cuffs, man. Throw some fisticuffs. You know what I mean?"
Yeah, somebody would have got smashed out. Somebody, it would have been some. It would have been some problems if I was on that field. It was somebody gonna fight me.
Most definitely. You know what? Cody Wells asked a good question. Hey, Cody's every week viewer. I love Cody, man. Actually, you know what? I gotta find out where Cody lives, because if I go to another game, man, we gotta take Cody with us. Gotta definitely take Cody.
Show him some love.
Gotta show him some love. Gotta show him some love. But no, he asked JT, can y'all attest to this? Would you say this defense is more or less physical than the '90s defense? I'm gonna say more. I'm gonna go more. Don't get me wrong, that '90s defense was good. It was a good defense, but that was in that day and age was more of a finesse defense, where Bennett running a 4.4 speed, Daryl Talley being athletic, Bruce being athletic as he was. They weren't very. I didn't think they were very physical. They were more finesse, but the finessing that they did was pick sixes, causing fumbles, and flying around the field. What would you say, James? You watched that defense in the '90s?
Yeah, that's hard to say because the rules were so different.
Right.
That's a tough one, because what we consider finesse back then would be extremely physical nowadays, if that makes sense. So it's extremely hard to say. I mean, they're up there, but like this, it's a conversation to be had. But I can't just say they're more physical than that '90s team. Not yet. Not after 5 games. Let's see what happens as the season progresses. But it's at least a conversation to be had right now.
Almost definitely. I think that we should put a post out about that. I think that right there in itself is a very good question, and I would love to see. I would like to see that. I know last year we put a poll out. I think it was, we're asking is, which offense did you think was better? Did you think the '91 Kelly's Palace of points was better, or last year's offense we were putting a record number?
Oh, I'll say last year's offense was better.
Most that I'm gonna go that way too. But like you said, you know what? It's a difference of a game.
And it might I might ruffle some feathers here, but 2020 Josh Allen was better than 91 Jim Kelly.
Right. Our man Travis Blakely turning in tonight. Trav, make sure you catch Trav on Friday nights on the Friday Night Forecast. As corny as it sounds, the defense is doing their 111th. Everyone is performing. No, exactly right. It's not corny. It's simple. That's their model, and that's what they're doing. They're performing. He's absolutely right. Dennis Mack says the '90s D had more guys on the ball. Yeah. I think naturally the '90s players were probably better players than what we have right now in this defense. Not at the safety spot, not in the secondary. The front seven, I'd say yes.
Yeah.
The front seven, I'd definitely say yes, they're better individual players. But what this defense is lacking in the front seven, and whatever flaws they have, they're making up in physicality right now. Well, if I miss this, if you get by me on this reception, I'm just going to make you feel it.
Yep.
Think about catching another one. So, but no,
and I mean, even with Saran Neal helping, I mean, he's a rotational guy.
Yeah.
But he'll bring it. And I don't know if you've seen it or anybody else seen it. I've never seen it. This dude was triple teamed as a gunner.
Yes.
He's one of the best gunners in NFL history, and it's not even close. That dude is one of the best gunners in NFL history. They triple teamed him, literally.
No, you're exactly right. They did, and it's funny because wasn't it just not last week on the show? I didn't do a show last week. I actually had a definitely famous, so I didn't do it last week. The week before we talked about that this was probably the best gunner tandem in the NFL, and Tywan Jones and Saran Neal, and it wasn't close to us. And how undervalued Saran Neal is.
I'm willing to say in NFL history, maybe the best combination in NFL history.
Travis Blakely says they swarmed Sunday. A lot of Chiefs made business decisions. We get to a couple of these comments. Cindy Martini Jackson always tune in. Thank you for tuning in, Cindy. What I do not miss about that era was us bit us in the butt with the bickering Bills. Absolutely. Now, if you ask me which team was closer as far as camaraderie, this team right here is definitely closer in camaraderie. 110%.
I totally agree.
110%. Donnie Trotman says, imagine this offense with Thurman Thomas type of player. Yeah, we had TJ. No, I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna tell you TJ in the same breath of Thurman, but I don't know. I mean, that's what me and you kept going back and forth for thinking when they were gonna take ETN, that they may have been looking for that type of ball.
Absolutely. Player. Like, just imagine if they was to have an Alvin Kamara in this offense.
Ooh my. Oh, Ray Cruz is on tonight, man. What's up, Ray? How you doing, brother? Ray says, foreseeable future, Hughes, Jr., Addison, Beasley all gone. James, we've been talking about this, I think, for the last 3 weeks. And actually, I'm going to add another segment to this show tonight. We're going to talk about at some point if we see a move coming and what move will we make. I know we've talked about it, so I'm curious to see what your opinion is. If we even make a move. And by the way, if you're watching the show tonight, as you see at the top, right up here above, over this way, above James, it says like, subscribe, and ring the bell, as my man Evan Zingersy says. So please like, subscribe, like on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, and we gotta get a retweet button. It's on Twitter too. Retweet that on Twitter for me. But the Bills, I mean, they demolished them, and it was good to see Boogie bash them too. Before we even talk about,
he has a lot of energy. He has a role on this defense, man.
Oh, he's on. Yeah, they got it right with Epinesa, Basham, and Rousseau. They got it right. You got something to be reckoned with, and I like the fact that we made the right decisions. I think we left Butler inactive this week, correct?
Yeah,
it was Butler and Harrison Phillips. We went pure speed. We going Zimmer inside. We went Obata. We went Oliver and Star Lotulelei. Listen, man. Once again, hats off. Made me eat my words on my Star Lotulelei hate over the last couple years that I've had. World of a difference. You said it. You're right. I have to admit, you're right.
You know what, JT? Before I thought he may be gone, he's going to be around next year too. They're not going to get rid of him.
I don't think so.
I thought before the season it was possible they will release him. I don't think they do. I just don't think. I think they keep him around for one more season. I mean, Starr is a very valuable player, and he's a good football player, man. He eats up a lot of space. The year off from football was the best thing for him. He's fresh. Yeah. You know, think about it. These guys have been playing football since they're 7, 8 years old without a break. That dude took the year off. His body probably healed up. He probably feels good as he has in years.
Yeah.
So that dude, man, he is balling.
No, I agree. I gotta give it to him. Like I said, he definitely looks fresh. He looks happy. You know, over the last couple of years, didn't it seem like sometimes you can see how people just don't seem to be happy doing what they're doing, and it seemed like, yeah, I'm getting paid. It's a job. I'm doing it. It is what it is. And he kind of like that now. Year off. To spend time with family. Obviously, if you don't know, he lost weight in the over this past year, and then he built back up, which is why I think he's so explosive. Like I said, hats off to Star Lotulelei. He's making a world of difference, and I was wrong. I'll eat the crow. I'll eat the crow. Maybe I should make that a segment on this show and repeat things I eat crow on, because like I said, I am not afraid to go back and admit things that I was wrong that no one even heard me say. I love admitting I'm wrong.
Yeah, especially when it works out for the Bills. I would love to be wrong about certain things, man. Like, hey, if it helps the team, I'll gladly eat crow.
Right. No, I agree. But no, I thought that as far as the offensive end goes on the ball, I thought the Bills found a pretty solid balance with the run game. They used Allen as the rushing attack. We said last year, the key to beating the Chiefs is you have to have a steady run game. Now, we probably ran Allen a little bit more than what some people are like, but hey, that's what called to get the job done. Yep. And he was gaining big chunks of yards. Devin Singletary, I figured this wouldn't be a Devin Singletary type of game. This was, you got Daniel Sorensen at linebacker, you have Nick Bolton, who's a rookie, and you have, I think Gay, is Gay a rookie too? I think Willie Gay, he may be a rookie, maybe second year player.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, but he's young. We're going to run right at you. And there was no Chris Jones this game, which was absolutely huge. I can't understate how big it was for Chris Jones not to play in this football game because that dude is an absolute game wrecker.
Yes.
We've seen it twice. So they were missing a big piece in there. But their defense has been awful all season.
That's you being kind right now.
Okay, their defense has been the worst in the league. Oh my
God, it's embarrassing. They got dudes running around there like they don't know what the heck is going on. I feel bad for Tyrann Mathieu, man. He's trying to make up ground for so many mistakes that dudes are making out there. It's just like it got to be overwhelming for him right now. They got to get some help. That's what happens when you call it. You talk about it all the time. Cap allocation, right? So they loading up on that offense. They want to be the most exciting thing. Everybody want to talk about. Oh, Pat Mahomes throwing the ball all over the yard. They got this. They got this. They got this. But dude, you're not putting much money on defense. You paid 2, maybe 3 people on defense, and the rest you just like figure it out. So now that's what they're doing, trying to figure it out, and it's not going so well. With Chris Jones out, then the Honey Badgers alone back there. Right. And your man Sorensen, he looked like he's had better days, man. He's not looking good. He's had better days.
That whole Sorensen thing is over, man.
Yeah, he was getting roasted out there.
He got toasted, burnt, and put in the microwave.
Oh my God, and put butter on him. It was over. Oh my goodness. So they better do something about that defense. I'm pretty sure they'll be drafting defense heavy in the draft. Heavy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're gonna have to. What they say on the NFL, right? One of the hardest things to do in football is to beat a team 3 times. Mm-hmm. And obviously, this is not normally when they say that. It kind of means more if it's the team in your division and you've met them 3 times in a season, third time coming in the playoffs with one team sweeping the division rival within the regular season. Well, Buffalo has played the Chiefs technically, like I said, 3 times in the last year, and it's almost like a division rival. And yeah, it was very hard for the Chiefs to beat them. It felt like Leslie Frazier, Sean McDermott, Brian Dable all came out with game plans ready to go. Steve Spagnuolo was left scratching his head, and so was Andy Reid. And we have Andy Reid on our bad takes tonight because I thought he had an absolute horrible take after this game. Something that as a coach, you just don't say. As far as bad takes as well, we have a couple. We have one from we got one from Andy Reid tonight. We have one from the Kansas City Chiefs Twitter account, which is absolute mind-boggling why they were even released it, but we're gonna put it out here. And then we also have one from just a regular fan, no names, we don't bully. No, we leave them anonymous. No John Gruden's going on here. So just saying, man, it's been a bad week for that man, man. I mean,
oh my God.
Woo. But no, I thought the offense played well. I thought the passing game was efficient. I think that Josh Allen's yards in this game, because he got big chunks.
Yep.
I mean, first of all, I want to talk about that throw to Emmanuel Sanders, where Emmanuel Sanders has caught balls from, I think about 3 Hall of Fame quarterbacks: Ben Roethlisberger, Drew Brees, and Peyton Manning, and probably 4 if Josh Allen continues on this trajectory. He's pretty much said he's never had a pass like that thrown to him. I mean, you talk about a rope. That ball was a rope. Almost right hash. And it wasn't like he lofted it. It was a laser beam over the defensive back, who did correctly by going to the inside hip. Over him to the outside, right into the hands on the outside shoulder of Sanders.
When you got arm talent like that, I mean, the defense don't even matter at that point, that type of throw. I mean, did you see that, man? I mean, I'm sitting there like, what just happened here? You know what I mean? Man, his arm talent is ridiculous. And I'm just happy that we locked him up, because imagine what his price tag would have been if we'd have signed him after a season.
A throw like that alone gets you $300 million.
Listen, man, JT, that dude, oh my God, we got one, man. We got one. And, I'm just thankful that we did sign him, man. And, people were on him the first couple of games. Oh, he's playing bad. He's regressing. Anybody that says that, please go get drug tested immediately. Because it's just, you tripping. because that man can play. He's not going to throw for 300 every week. Nobody does.
No.
You know, he's not. I mean, those guys on defense are getting paid as well. But that dude is a freaking stud, man, with an arm. I don't think it's been 5 guys in NFL history that got the arm talent that he has.
Actually, I think there is a quarterback in the league that throws for 300 yards every week. And that's normally like Matt Ryan. And you know why Matt Ryan throws for 300, 400 yards every week? Because you're usually trailing. Or you're usually trying to come back.
Yeah, you got that right. You definitely got that right.
But no, I think that when you see that type of throw, and don't get me wrong, Patrick Mahomes is a special quarterback in himself. Let's not understate that. He's a special quarterback as well. Just like Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's special as well.
Yeah.
But he's special in his own way. Each one of these quarterbacks are special in a way. But when they say, or you hear analysts and you hear experts, you hear people who do quarterback breakdowns, and they say things as such like, Pat Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL. He's elite. But Josh Allen has the best arm talent. And you see people say, get all up arms. What does that mean? That Mahomes' arm is the best. He makes no-look passes. Yeah, he does some incredible things.
Yeah.
Very few quarterbacks have you seen make a throw like that.
Dude,
and with
I can't tell you 5 times I've seen it. That was like it literally. I'm like I was stunned. You know, it just left me speechless. I'm literally like, what the heck did I just witness here? That was crazy. Yeah. It was crazy, man. I mean, that dude is special, man. I'm happy you're on our side.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he could have been in Cleveland. I bet Cleveland would take him right now. If Cleveland had, maybe you wouldn't need 2 running backs to carry the ball 25 times again. I'm just saying.
If we redid that draft right now, Josh Allen, they wouldn't wait 30 seconds to turn the card into Josh Allen. Then Lamar Jackson would be the number 2 pick in that draft. If you can redo it, that's just it's crazy.
Like I said, man, Cleveland can have all the commercials. We'll take the arm talent. Just
all day.
You know, I mean, we heard Cleveland talking about Baker Mayfield, and I like Baker Mayfield. I'm not a Baker Mayfield hater. Well, maybe I am, maybe a little bit. I like Baker Mayfield, but reality is Cleveland, they talk about his arm talent. They talk about a Hail Mary throw that went out of bounds. We're not talking about a touchdown. We're not talking about a touchdown throw in a big game on the national stage. We're talking about a Hail Mary that went out of bounds because he threw it 75 yards. Great. Sweet. That's like punting a football from the 20 and punting it 80 yards. That's great. Great punt. He kicked it 80 yards, 85 yards down the field, not out of bounds. Perfect. But the ball still's at the 20. It means nothing.
Yeah.
But no, I think that it shows his arm talent. It shows how special quarterback Josh Allen is. And this week, to me, he showed resilience. You know, my man Cody was a couple weeks ago, Sugar Rush Allen. He was calm in this game from beginning to end. No ups and downs.
You know, that hero ball that he's tried to play before in the past.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he didn't really do that in the game. He had that one we got the intentional grounding, and I don't even consider. I mean, you're trying to be a ball player. You know, you can't be a robot. So I'll take those type of plays all day, every day from him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he played a hell of a game, man, and that dude showed he could be that guy.
All game,
he could be a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
He took what the defense gave him.
Yeah.
Okay. He took what the defense gave him. But no, I thought Josh played a well of a game, and I thought the Bills came out and they dominated, and they did what they were supposed to do. So moving on, we're gonna move on to our next topic, and before we get to bad takes, I want to talk about Sean McDermott and where he ranks in the hierarchy of head coaches in the NFL. So I don't think Sean gets a lot of he's not a big persona coach, right? He doesn't give you a lot of quotes. He doesn't give you a lot of bulletin board material. He's kind of boring, which we love. We love the fact that he's boring. He handles business in a fashion, and he gives all the credit to the players. He takes none of it.
Nope.
This is a big win, and the Bills have continuously won on the big stage. When you put them on national stage, they perform. I think the first national stage game we say in the Josh Allen, Sean McDermott era was what? Thanksgiving Day, Cowboys, probably. They won.
Yep.
You put them on Monday Night Football against the Patriots. They won. I'm trying to think of another game. It was a one more game last year we played. Oh well, the Titans. Well, I'm not going to count that. I'm not going to count that. That was on a Tuesday night. It was. I'm not going to count that. That wasn't a national game. You put them in this KC game, national stage, they win. And they're not just winning these national stage games. They're blowing people out. They're showing people, hey, we're here. We're here to play, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to come out. We're going to win. We're going to beat the holy hell out of you. And I feel like Sean McDermott in itself doesn't get enough respect. What is your take on McDermott? Oh, wait a minute. I think he froze. Okay, so it's just me for now. James will be back. But I think that when it comes down to Coach McDermott, he doesn't get the credit he deserves. I mean, we constantly hear Andy Reid. We constantly hear Bill Belichick, who I continue to say on this show that I think Bill Belichick's overrated. If you check his career record, without Tom Brady, he's completely under 500. And it's not even close. I think he's like 42% in every game he plays in New England. It's almost going down and down and down. So it doesn't look good for him. He has to be top 3. There's no way he's not top 3, taking this team from where they were to where they're at now. There's no way. It's no way possible. But let's see, my man Maul's back. Let's get him back. My man Dane Robinson, TC Pride, stand up. Make sure you guys are checking Breaking Barriers, nonprofit in Buffalo. Thoughts on whether the Bills will maintain the focus high-level play against some of these lesser opponents on the upcoming schedule, with the exception of Tampa and Tennessee? How do you maintain this energy and approach throughout the long season? You know what? That's a good question, and we're going to answer that. But before I get to that question, James, we're talking about Coach McDermott and how
sorry about that, y'all. I don't know what happened. Technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties. I didn't miss a beat. We didn't miss a beat. Where do you rank him on the hierarchy of coaches?
He's probably tier 2. He's probably tier 2.
Who's tier 1?
I won't put him at tier 1 yet. I'm gonna put him at tier 2.
Okay.
I think he's a great coach. I'm happy he's on our side. I got to go. Obviously the respect for Belichick.
Yeah.
You got to put Andy Reid up there. You got to put Mike Tomlin in that tier 1 group.
Okay.
I know I'm forgetting. Sean Payton as well.
Sean Payton. That's one I forget about too. Sean Payton, right?
Yeah, and honestly, tier 2, you got. I'm thinking of Pete Carroll. I'm thinking of Sean McDermott. I'm thinking of those guys. So, I mean, he's definitely up there. We're extremely fortunate to have him, man. I mean, look at Carolina. If you really look at Carolina, they got to be kicking themselves. They let Brandon Beane and McDermott get out of that building. That's bad, man. That's very bad for them. So, hey, I think he's a tier 2 coach. Top 5 to 7 coach in the NFL, no doubt.
Yeah. No, and you make a good point. I put him tier 1. Because I think that the level of consistencies he's had for the past 3 years now it's tier 1 material, especially for he took this team. And like I said, I still give a lot of credit to. I still feel that him and Brandon Beane walked into a lot of assets here in Buffalo with people like Sammy Watkins and Nikhil Roby-Coleman and players like that. I'm sorry, Ronald Darby Coleman got released, that you were able to trade for draft picks to build your roster. So I mean, they didn't just walk into a complete, bleep show. But what they walked into was a very unorganized organization, an organization who kind of didn't have any rules in place, kind of did what they wanted to do, made very bad decisions, and nobody was on the same page. That was the real problem with the Bills organization. It wasn't necessarily the players. It was the fact how the organization was run. And Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane came up with a plan. They fixed that. So I'm going to go tier 1 because he actually has full control of this team. And a lot of people don't realize that although him and Brandon Beane work together, you would think automatically that Brandon Beane, being general manager, is Sean McDermott's boss. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Sean McDermott is Brandon Beane's boss. He brought him in here. Yeah. So And that in itself, to be able to be almost like a team president in a way, and to be able to focus and to be able to win, I put him tier one. So I think he's missing the Super Bowl appearance.
Yeah,
And he was
exactly.
one game away.
Yep, he gets that. You talking about tier one lock, like top 3 to 5 coach, without a question.
And think about it. He's done this with a quarterback that they said couldn't hit the right side of a barn, 2 third-round running backs, right? That people didn't really respect. Yeah, he traded for Stephon Diggs. The rest of the receiving core were kind of outside of Cole Beasley, kind of castaways.
Absolutely.
Dawson Knox, no one really knew about. And an offensive line that doesn't have one guy on there that stood out to say, hey, that guy's the best player. Well, outside Mitch Morse, because Mitch Morse went to free agency, he was the best center on the market. He's done it his way with his players. So I have to go tier one. I'm going tier one. I think that he's, at this point, top 3.
We don't have a first-round pick on the line at all, do we? I don't think we have one at all.
No. I think off the line, I think Cody Ford
is the highest draft pick.
Would have been the highest draft pick. So they got that one wrong, obviously. But moving on, I don't know. That's why I thought I put him tier 1, you put him tier 2. Either way, not bad. Not bad. And yeah, Ray Cruz says Spencer Brown's gonna be nasty. Absolutely. My man Daniel Robertson says been hearing that it's likely Klein may be a better fit against the Titans, which actually made sense. That may make sense. AJ Klein against Titans because they're going to go power run, but that's another team that this revenge season.
My opinion on that one, I agree. Milano is a baller. Sit him, give him extra week with the bye. We need him for the stretch. I wouldn't even chance playing him this week.
And then Cindy Martin Jackson says we should finally have made a believer of our moron Nick Wright, but nope, still trash his jobs. How is he still working? So I'm working in the media. I'm going to tell you what Nick Wright is doing, and we had this conversation in our private chat the other day about Nick Wright, and a lot of fans don't get it with him. What it is for the last 20 years, Nick Wright works at a big outlet at Fox Sports. He worked at ESPN before that. The Bills were not good any of those years when Nick Wright was talking sports. Therefore, when you're at the level he is, you don't follow the Buffalo Bills. For what reason? Why would you? You may touch on them depending on who they're playing. So what Nick Wright does is not that he's an idiot, because he's not. It's the fact that he hasn't done enough research, and to cover up his lack of research and knowledge of the Buffalo Bills, what he does is he just trolls it.
Yeah.
He trolls them. Because one thing about Bills Mafia is we're going to defend our own at all times. So if he trolls them, just as well as he say Josh Allen's the best quarterback in the league, he could say Josh Allen is still not good. He's not better than Patrick Mahomes. Either way, he's going to get a million clicks. It's a way to cover up his own ignorance of the team. That's why when he talks, it doesn't make any sense when he talks football, because he's an NBA analyst. Nothing against him. He's getting paid to do a job. I get it. They're paying him a lot of money to do it. That's what's happening with a lot of broadcasters. You see with Stephen A. Smith on ESPN. He's covering things he probably should be covering because his salary is dictating what he's covering.
Absolutely.
Which is kind of ruining journalism in a way, because you have people who don't know what the hell they're talking about covering stuff and just look at you and say it confidently and try to make you believe it. But it is what it is. But that's just my take on Nick Wright. But I want to get to Daniel Robertson's question here about the Bills remaining focused on coming schedule, because after this Tennessee game, it's a bye week and it's a cakewalk. It's Miami, it's the Jets coming up, and Jacksonville. I don't think remaining focused is a problem for any Sean McDermott coach team. That hasn't seemed to be a problem since he came to Buffalo. It doesn't seem like they have too many trap games, although I do still think Pittsburgh was a trap game for them. I think that was your trap game. What do you think about the focus of this team, especially on Sean McDermott coach team?
I don't think focus is going to be an issue. It scares me when people say cakewalk. When you play divisional opponents, it's never a cakewalk. The Jets are going to fight. Will we beat them? Probably. But those dudes are going to fight. Miami, they're not a bad football team. They just don't got it together right now. Jacksonville, they fought it was a Thursday night football last week. They fought. Trevor Lawrence is going to continue to get better. But, those are games, man, where you really got to bring it, man, because next thing you know, you may look up and, dang, we down by 10. But I don't think that'd be a problem for this team.
Mhm.
I think they'll come through, and I think they'll take care of business.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Like I said, I don't see them overlooking anybody. It seems like they have this underdog mentality where we don't get any respect. We're gonna come out. We're gonna start to put our foot in your necks every week until we earn our respect. I don't think this team will ever overlook people until they win the Super Bowl. And even at that, they still may not after that.
Yeah,
But until they do that, they don't feel like they're the top dog.
agree. I think that they're still hungry for more and more and more, and
Mhm.
that's the type of guys they have that mentality. Like we said, it's like kind of castaways. Guys are overlooked. Guys who people have told them they're not good enough. Look at Micah Hyde. He played well in Green Bay. They didn't offer him a contract. Look at Poyer. Who heard of that dude before he came here?
Right.
Trey White. Look at Levi Wallace. Just look at the guys on our defense. All of them are guys where people have told them they've not been good enough, and they have a chip on their shoulder, and they play like it. They work hard. They want to earn everything that they get. They don't want nothing given to them. That's the right people that you want in the locker room to make up your team, man. I think they did a hell of a job of creating that type of environment.
Yeah. Their entire team has a chip on their shoulder.
Yep.
Everybody. Trey White feels like he was drafted later than he should have been. Like you said, Micah Hyde, boy, didn't get the respect they deserve. Greg Rousseau dropped from a top 15 pick to number 30. Josh Allen was a top pick. He dropped to bottom 7. He had, what was it, 2 quarterbacks that went before him?
Yeah, he was supposed to be he was projected to go number 1 overall before the season, and end up falling to 7.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's very interesting of what this mentality of this team is. And I think it's very crystal clear what it is. Before we get to Greg Rousseau, because we're going to talk about Greg Rousseau tonight, I want to get to, you guys know what time it is. It's what we were supposed to do at 20 minutes, and we're a little over because we were talking about good stuff, and that's what we do. We have good conversations. But it is time for, as always, bad takes. Week 5 of bad takes here. And let's see what we got on the spectrum. So the first bad take of the night was from, I'm gonna choose the other one first. This is from a Bills fan before the game. He puts on there, the Chiefs are going to be a tough one, like the Steelers game loss for the Bills. You don't win the AFC 2 years in a row being a fluke team. I will be very surprised if the Chiefs lose this game at home in KC. The Bills still do not look ready for prime time yet against the big guy teams after watching the first game at home against the Steelers. If Tom Brady was still in the Patriots, now the Bills would be in second place. Yeah, well, I mean, unfortunately for him, the Bills did win. I just gave you the Bills' primetime record. The Bills have been winning primetime games on Sean McDermott since he got here when they started giving the Bills primetime game. And third of all, Tom Brady left the Patriots partially, I think, because he knew the Bills were coming. And the Bills were this close to beating Tom Brady, I think, like twice the last season before he left. So, that's a bad take. And I think he also, and on that take, you're holding the Bills accountable for one loss, but whatever. By all means, do you. The second bad take of the night for me is from Vandy Reed of the Chiefs. I didn't see this coming.
I bet he didn't. I bet he didn't.
I mean, what does that even mean as a head coach? I didn't see this coming. I mean, what, you didn't see a good football team coming? You didn't see a team that just played you a couple months ago in the AFC Championship game to go to Super Bowl coming? What didn't you see coming? What does that mean?
I would be offended. I honestly would be offended a little bit if I was a player. Like,
right.
Dude, really?
Right. That's what I mean. I felt like it's almost like a shot. I took it like almost like a shot.
Yep.
As if I didn't see this coming. Well, even if you did, could you have stopped it? Are you saying that this is what I mean about the little brother mentality?
Yeah.
They felt like they were going to come in this mop the floor with us. And if you go back to the AFC Championship game last year, Travis Kelce is arrogant. He's arrogant as hell, and so is Pat Mahomes. They're arrogant ball club. And don't be wrong. I go with the University of Miami mantra back in the early 90s. If you don't want us dancing, don't let us in the end zone.
Yep.
I'm all for showboating. I get it. I'm good. I'm good for a little arrogance, but you gotta watch who you're arrogant against. The Bills came out and just smacked you around, and yeah, guess you didn't see it coming. So and this game is so important too, James, because this may give us home field in the AFC Championship game if we play them again.
That's major. And honestly, JT, imagine what the ratings would be on that AFC Championship game, the Bills versus Chiefs.
Records.
That game would be crazy.
Yeah. Records. Absolute records. But we're gonna go to our third final take. James, drum roll, please. Third and final bad take of the night. So earlier this week, the Kansas City Chiefs have, in a since deleted Twitter post, put this with the two pictures from the AFC Championship game. One of Kelsey after the first down. Like we know he caught like so many balls against us. And the second one after Josh Allen was sacked in the game and hit Okafor with the football. You all remember what happened the last time we played the Buffalo Bills with a little smirk emoji. Little brother. Hashtag Throwback Thursday.
The only way they'll have good memories of them playing against us is a throwback memory, because what just happened on Sunday night, that was bad. We smacked around. They were smacked around.
First of all, as an organization, how do you even let your I'm assuming somebody has a boss and someone's watching something. Why would you even post that?
Arrogance, right?
To me,
you gotta mention it.
Arrogance from a team that has had the worst. And I'm gonna go to the record before this game. The team that's coming into this game with the absolute worst defense. Your defense is putrid. 32nd in the league, and you're 2-2. They've lost. Who did they lose to? Did they lose to the Raiders?
They lost.
I know they lost to the Chargers.
Ravens.
You lost 2 games. You're 2-2. You're not even the top of your division. And you post some garbage like that. As if you beaten the Bills twice last year wasn't enough bulletin board material, not enough motivation as it is. And then you come out there on Sunday night and you get trounced on to move to 2-3 under 500. You got what you deserved.
Yep.
You got what you deserve. You cast a check, as my mom would say, you cast a check that your ass couldn't cash. And you got beat down. As the song say, punks jumped up to get beat down.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what happened to you. Travis Kelce looked like he wanted to cry. Patrick Mahomes didn't look like he knew what was going on. And the defense looked like they gave up.
They looked like they were looking for answers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, what the heck is going on here? We beat them every possible way you could, running the ball and throwing.
Yeah. And you had to put 3 people on our gunner. And you post some garbage like that.
And you still won the battle. That's the sad part.
Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. You have won the Bad Takes Award of the night, Kansas City Chiefs Twitter. And then the worst part about it is not even the fact that you posted. Because when you post something, you post and you go on. It's not like it's you or me where we may post something about maybe an ex-girlfriend or something like that, and we go delete it and maybe 2 people saw it. You're a national football team, and you post this, and then you go delete it? No, we saw it.
That don't work. Deleting that don't work.
You can't post that on Thursday and put hashtag Throwback Thursday and then try to go delete it after midnight on Monday morning. No, we all saw it. We know it's there. That made you look even worse. It made you look cowardly. So Kansas City Chiefs, good luck to you the rest of the way. I hope you learned your lesson. That's really no different than Juju Schuster dancing on people's logos. Yeah, that's what you get. But that, people, is our bad take segment of the night. And I thought it was some good ones. It was different. And,
it definitely was.
Yeah. So thank you for watching that. We'll have some more for week 6, I'm sure of. And one day maybe we'll just do a whole 15-minute show with just all bad takes.
Oh, let's do it. Let's do it.
I should have people start sending me takes. If you guys ever see bad takes, you got me on Facebook and stuff like that, even Cold Front or whatever. Start sending them in. Just screenshot them and send them right in. But corny, man. And this is a joke. But moving on, I want to talk about the arrival of Greg Rousseau. And this is a guy that you were completely high on. And I said, I give you credit for that. The word thrown around with him was project at all times. It was always project. And you kept saying, hey, don't say that. And obviously you had a connection to Greg Rousseau where you got some information on him before we even got him, after we got him. But, dude, this kid's playing out of his mind.
He's a baller. You know, we're not going to crown him just yet.
Right.
But the promise that he showed as a rookie in his first 5 games and earned a starting role, I mean, I think it's phenomenal. You know, when we drafted him, you know, I did my research on people who have played with him, coached against him, whatever the case may be. Not to get too much into it, but people that I really trust their opinion and their football knowledge. And first thing they said was he a beast. First thing they really said was he's a great guy. And then it was like, yo, this dude is a beast. And even though he did opt out, I got sick of people saying he's a project down the line. I hate when people say that because it's not like he opted out and he sat on the couch all year and was like, you know what, I'm going to go to LA Fitness and work out 4 times a week, eat me some salad, and, you know, I'm going to enter the draft. No, this dude worked on his craft with one of the best defensive line specialty coaches you can ask for. Yep. And he worked on his craft, and he worked on his craft, and he worked on his craft. That was probably more valuable to him playing for Miami in that COVID season. Yeah. He worked on all his weaknesses, and then he even worked on his strengths. And that's something especially somebody may need who converted from receiver, safety, down to defensive line, where you need that one-on-one attention to really, really, really drill, you know, that new role. And then sometimes if you're playing the games, you just kind of going off, you know, just your natural instincts and you know, you kind of wing it and try to go just all athleticism. Now he has a bunch of different tools in this, you know, that he has some different tools in this toolbox to use in his rookie season that he probably wouldn't have had if he'd have played that year on Miami. So I think what he did was a great thing. I looked at it total opposite of how some people were looking at it. Obviously, most first round picks they all are, you know, projects for the most part. There's very few guys that come in, they just ready. We don't got many Quentin Nelsons who come in and they just ready day one. There's not many of those. But this dude, I hate when everybody kept saying project. Yeah, that's a word to cover your ass just in case you don't work out. You know, I was saying, hey, this dude worked on his craft. He may be ready to play now. And he showed as of right now, he's ready to play now.
One of the things that we said in the offseason was he may be a project. He may need some work. He's going to need some time, possibly. I had him really I didn't have him getting playing time yet, like this yet. I actually had him being the one being inactive the first couple of weeks of the season, had bashed him above him playing while he still developed and got ready. But then as you slowly heard the reports coming out of camp, like, hey, he looks good. And obviously, you take the reports out of camp with a grain of salt because everybody looks good in camp half the time, unless the media trying to drive someone out of town. He's made an immediate impact to the point where he's starting a lot faster than we thought he was. And versus the Kansas City Chiefs team that we played last year, that absolutely we had 0 pass rush in 2 games. Get Patrick Mahomes. This dude made an immediate impact, and he made Patrick Mahomes uncomfortable all night.
Oh yeah. And I mean disrupted throwing lanes, because let's look at the last couple of years. We roll out Jerry Hughes, roll out Addison. Those guys are 6'2", 6'3". And that's kind of on the shorter side for a defensive end, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
A little below, slightly below average. When you got somebody 6'6" and he can't get to the quarterback, he extend that arm reach. Dude, he's blocking passing lanes like crazy. You know, and that's very disruptive. Even though you're not getting to the quarterback, you disrupted a lot of things. And I think that's something that a lot of people overlook. I mean, look at the interception he made. If you a 6'2" defensive end, do you make that play? Probably not.
Not a chance.
Yeah. So now you got a 6'6", 6'7" guy with extremely long wingspan. Changes things a little bit.
Well, that's one thing McDermott said in the offseason about they were looking for guys with longer wingspans. And with Epinesa, that's why they brought him in. Then they brought Rousseau in. And Bash was not necessarily small. He's smaller than the other 2 guys, but he's a technician.
Yep.
Uh, and even though FL body, he's not a small guy. So this is definitely what they were looking for. But no, I think the kid has made a world of a difference. You can teach pass rush moves. You can teach a lot of things. You can't teach being 6'7", 270 pounds with a 6-foot wingspan. You can't teach that. It's not something that it's not something that just falls off trees either.
Yep.
In having somebody at that size that as athletic as he is, because it's not a guy that's just getting sacks. He's chasing running plays down the line, which is huge down the backside. Because absolutely, he nullified anything that they did running wise with Hilaire, especially around the stretch play they ran last year against us. And Hilaire had about 125 yards rushing.
Yep.
So either way, I think this kid's phenomenal. I love glad that we got him. And once again, another guy with high character and a chip on his shoulder. And like people say about the sack totals, yeah, well, he had this many sacks in Miami, and they try to discredit it. You can discredit 6 sacks, you can discredit 7, maybe even 8. Maybe even 9 in college you can discredit. You can't, there's no way you can ever discredit 15 sacks.
Not playing in the ACC like he was.
No, in 10 games. 11, you can't discredit that many sacks. So I love that we got him. And actually, you know what? If you guys did not know, I need to put Rousseau. Sorry, my bad. If I didn't put the graphic up, but October 29th, and October 30th, Friday the 29th and Saturday the 30th at Batavia Downs, Legends and Stars is going to be having their normal event each year. And I believe this season on Friday at 5 p.m. And you can buy tickets for this event. I'll put the graphic out soon in Cold for report. I believe Friday is going to be Joe DeLamalore, Thurman Thomas, Andre Reed, Jim Kelly, and Billy Shaw signing autographs and meet and greets. And on Saturday, it's going to be Boogie Basham, Greg Rousseau, Stevie Johnson, who's my man. I'll be in town. Devin Singletary, Micah Hyde, Sean Waltman, who is X-Pac, or if you go way back in wrestling, 1-2-3 Kid.
Yep.
Rod Guidry. So make sure you guys, and Eric Moats will be there. So make sure you guys tune in to that and catch out if you're in the Batavia Downs area. We will be promoting that, and we will be there actually talking to a lot of fans that we did 2 years ago, and it should be a good time. But no, definitely Greg Rousseau is a great player. I'm glad we got him, and he's made a world of a difference. So kudos to him. Hats off to him. You get a nugget tonight, my man. But moving on, as you guys know, every week I haven't been doing it because there ain't been much to rant about. I have a rant of the week, and the rant of the week, the segment is called "It's Nothing Personal, Just Business." So it's nothing personal, just business. Rant of the week this week for me is for our friends over there in Kansas City, Brittany and Jackson Mahomes. Now, if you're not aware of who they are, Brittany is Patrick Mahomes' wife, and I do not like attacking wives of players in any sport, any way, shape, or form, because honestly, they're easy targets for people on social media. I think it's garbage to attack them a lot, but she's getting annoying, and she deserves it. I'm sorry. I got to hand it to her tonight. It is what it is. The stuff that they're doing is crazy, and his Jackson Mahomes is his younger brother, who is also a TikTok star. But as a wife, as a brother, as a family member, if you're going to share the glory, that's fine. If you're going to gloat, that's fine. But you also have to share the L's if you're that invested. And with that being said, these two have been getting the issues with fans this season because they keep losing. You have to be able to accept losses. So tonight, the subject for It's Nothing Personal, Just Business is our Brittany Mahomes and our Jackson Mahomes. So if you guys are not aware, a few weeks ago in Baltimore, the Chiefs lost, and Jackson Mahomes getting the business by a Ravens fan. Yeah, he's probably taunting him, and he decided to pull water on the Ravens fan. The Ravens fan loved it. He laughed at him and recorded him, and he went viral for it. And I said, okay, it's a kid move. I get it. It's fine. I totally understand. You can't do that. You can't do that at all. You can't pour water on fans. You can't do that. So then, if you go back to Brittany Mahomes last year, she was highly upset that the national media were comparing Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. Well, yeah, Brittany, they are comparing them because they're similar ages. I think they're a draft class apart, if I'm not mistaken. And they're both winning, and they're both in the AFC Championship game, and they're both leading their teams. Was Patrick a little bit further ahead? Yeah, absolutely, he was. Sure. You can't get mad at somebody being compared to your husband, especially in the same age. And then after the Bills lose, you try to say something slick like there's no comparison. Well, on Sunday night, there was a comparison. And our guy made the rope of throw, and your husband didn't. He looked like a chicken running with his head cut off, just like he did in the Super Bowl, and just like he has the first 5 weeks of the season now. So what she did is she tweets out that the refs are never on our side. Really? Seriously? We're going to blame the refs? Your husband has played in 2 back-to-back Super Bowls. And let me tell you something, honey. You can go ask Sean Payton and Drew Brees about not having the refs on your side, because if they aren't on your side and they aren't working for you, you may not get to the Super Bowl. Really? So we're blaming the refs? And the 38-20 trouncing, the refs did it. Yeah, okay. But then she went as far as to say, she posted after that some Chiefs fan had got mad at her for posting that. And she said she didn't care about their opinion. So one Chiefs fan said, who's probably been a long-term fan, said, Miss Mahomes, I've been a Chiefs fan a lot longer than your husband has been playing here. Honey, you got to relax pretty much. It's not necessary. I love this organization. I love this team. We all got to be better. Nothing negative. Positivity. And she tweets back, ha with emoji, shut up. Who in the hell do you think you are to tell somebody to shut up? You're the wife of a famous football player. Okay? Nothing against that. He loves you. You have a child. I understand when you marry, you're unison, you're as one. But please take 3 seats. She's a loudmouth. She's annoying, and I can't stand her. She wants to gloat for everything they do win, but then she can't take a little bit of criticism or feedback from her husband when they're losing. If you're going to gloat when you're winning, you have to take the loss as well. Okay? You can't get mad at fans, especially KC fans. KC has one of the better fan bases in the league, a very traditional fan base, a very throwback fan base, a very committed fan base, just like Buffalo. And I could only imagine if our quarterback would tell our quarterback's wife and not wife, his girlfriend and Britt Will would tell one of the fans to shut up. She wouldn't, because she's classy. And I'm starting to figure out maybe Brittany Mahomes is just not classy. Maybe she's no Jackie Onassis Kennedy. Maybe she's just the wife of a famous football player who's gloating and you're sensitive. Well, don't be. You can't tell people to shut up. And yes, guess what? Our quarterback is on the same level as your quarterback, and maybe he just may surpass him. But you can't be that way. And as far as the little brother goes, Jackson Mahomes, you're cool, dude. Like I said, you're a TikTok star. You're probably more of a TikTok star because you have a famous brother. And that's fine. There's a lot of people out here making TikToks. You just have an advantage. Both of you guys have an advantage. Enjoy it. It's great. It's an advantage that most people don't have. Don't be arrogant. Don't be idiots. And don't be clowns. Enjoy the ride. Don't ruin it for Patrick. And if Patrick is honestly, if you're watching, or if you ever see this and you know what they're doing, tell them to stop, because they're embarrassing you. Last thing you want to do is have your family embarrass you. That's all. That's my rant for the week. Is Brittany Mahomes and Jackson Mahomes. Hey, chill out. Take your L's just like you took your dubs, because you gotten a lot more dubs in this league in this short time period than you took L's. Comes around. Is what it is. But that's just my rant of the week. Brittany and Jackson Mahomes. That's all. Just
nothing wrong with it. Everybody know how to take fame.
That's it. Take it. Enjoy it. Spend that $500 million. You got $500 million contract. You own part of the Royals. You own part of some other things. I mean, dude, just chill out. Pour water on fans. Patrick's going to lose a lot more games in his career. He's going to probably win more than he loses, but he's going to lose a lot more games. So be ready for it. But that's all. But hey, guys, I want to thank my guests for coming in the locker room tonight. I don't even want to put these comments up, man. These are bad, man. Oh, man. Oh, I'm just gonna put them up. I'm not gonna read them. I'm just gonna put them up. Wow, these are really rough here. That's not very nice, Bills fan. That's not very nice. I'm sorry. They're getting at her. They're getting at her. But no, man, it was a great show. I mean, I'm happy. We got Tennessee coming up. That's another revenge game. Another revenge game for Tennessee coming up. And another team that beat us last year pretty bad. So I think this team be ready to play. Revenge season, revenge tour 2021. James, any final thoughts, man? What's on your mind? What's personal to you? What's business?
Oh, I'm excited for this Tennessee game. I think it's going to be a physical game. I think they'll run the ball a lot to try to keep our offense off the field.
Yeah.
So heavy dose of Derrick Henry. We're excited for that. I'm sure we'll be talking more about that as well before will we Monday night this week.
Yeah, we Monday night prime time again, man.
So yeah, before Monday night we'll be doing a lot of talking about that. Then this
Mike Bagel wants to know where you can purchase this shirt. Yeah, Buffalo by Nature shirt. Mike, it's go to www.coltssocks.com or go to www.bufonweck.com to get this Buffalo by Nature shirt. They got red ones, blue ones. I got a red one, a blue one, and a black one. I had to get all three, you know. So yeah. It's good, big game, big time period, man. Because like I said, you win this one, and it's very likely about time Bills hit Tampa. They're 6-1. That's big. That's huge.
Very possible.
So, very possible. So, are you selling any beard product tonight? No, not tonight, man. I cut it off. I cut my beard off. So, no. Other than that, guys, thanks for tuning in. It was a great show. You guys are awesome. You always checking in and commenting and hey, remember, send me if you see bad takes. I don't care if it's Twitter, YouTube, Facebook videos, whatever. It doesn't matter. Go ahead, send me the link. Like JT, get this on the show, and I will certainly try to get it on. Sometimes I forget. I do get busy a lot, but I will try to get that on. And yeah, guys, that's it. This is episode. Man, what episode is this? 1, 2, 3. This is episode 4. Episode 4 of It's Just Business. We'll probably have James back next week again, and we'll see who else we can get in the locker room next week. Maybe we'll have a special guest or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, but that, hey guys, make sure that you're liking, you're subscribing, you're sharing. Make sure that you're following me on Instagram. It's my tag is right there, real JTM _. I'm gonna be posting some breakdown things. Well, I'm gonna try to break some stuff down, but we'll see. Posting that stuff up there. Make sure that you're checking all the great shows on Call for Report. Clayton Garrett, Travis Blakesley, post game show on Sunday nights after the games, or Mondays or Tuesdays now, depending on the Bills' schedules are wacky. Make sure that you're checking out Travis Blakesley on the Friday Night Forecast. Now, I think I missed something. I don't know if I missed something.
Nope, I think you got it all covered.
Did I get it all covered? I think I got it all covered. Yeah. Other than that, I mean, great show, and yeah, go Bills. 4-1. A dominant 4-1 too. So let's keep it rolling. And yeah, as always, I'm your host JTM for my guest James Mallory. Catch you guys next week, man. Hopefully another dub. Let's put another one up. 5. We go for number 5. I put 5 on it.
Let's get it
out. Catch y'all later.